everyone, I'm Evie. I'm going into my third year at the University of Leeds and I'm studying history and English. Today I'm just going to be talking to you about a few things I wish I knew before starting university based on my experience and the experience of some of my friends. If you're anything like I was, the first thing on your mind moving to uni is probably your student accommodation. If you don't get your first choice, don't be too disheartened because you can still make it so lovely and homely. Some ways I would recommend doing that is bringing photos of friends and family from home just to put up on your pin board. Things like some cozier lighting, like a salt lamp or fairy lights. You can get decorations like faux plants or cactus, things like that just to make it look more homely and less just like a plain empty room. People have different experiences on this, but I found my first year room to be really, really hot. And I was calling my mum like 2 weeks in, like, please, can you bring me my fan up? However, other people have said that they found theirs to be really cold. So maybe bring yourself a fan if you've got one and some extra blankets just to make sure that whatever the situation is, you're really comfortable. I also forgot chopping boards and sharp knives for cutting when I moved to uni, which wasn't ideal. So I had to go and buy that straight away. So if you've not got those, that is your reminder. Next up, making friends is probably going to be a big focus or potentially a worry for you when moving to uni. So let's talk about it. The first people that you are going to meet is probably going to be your flatmates. If you do get on with them, it is amazing. I was really lucky and I got on very well with my first year flatmates. But if you don't, it is not going to ruin your university experience. So keep that in mind. I think regardless of your situation with your flatmates, it's a really great idea to make friends in different areas as well, such as your course or your society. Societies are an incredible way to make friends because you know you've got that one thing in common. For example, I'm a part of girls training together, so I know the other girls in it also like exercise and going to the gym. Societies like the one I'm a part of put on your night out socials as well as your night in socials, so it's a really great way to meet people in different environments. It's not all about partying and going out, there's also some really wholesome night in things, like we've done candle making and bracelet making. I have made so many friends from my society and it really has been a fundamental part of my university experience. I didn't join until I was in second year of university and I just wish I did it sooner because of how amazing it's been and the friends that I have made from my society. I am also going to be wellbeing secretary of girls training this year, which is really exciting. So I get to plan and host the night in sober socials. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Of course, you will be meeting people on your course as well, but it can feel quite difficult to kind of push the friendship outside of the academic setting. If you've just met each other in lectures and seminars, it can be quite daunting to be like, do you want to be my friend? But I really recommend that you just push yourself out of your comfort zone and do it. So one of my best friends who I met in second year, we were literally sat next to each other just by chance in one of the welcome lectures for second year of uni. And we just got chatting, just really like casual, just like, oh, what course? Like, because I do joint honours. Where are you from? And then I just said to her, I was like, oh, like, should I get your Snapchat and maybe we can go out for coffee sometime? And now she's literally one of my best friends in Leeds. So just do it, be brave. The worst they can say is no. And if they do, it's their loss. You can make other friends. I do think it's really nice to have friends in different areas of your Leeds life. I've got friends on English, on history, my housemates and my society friends. And I think it's so lovely to just have different ways of making friends. I know it sounds cliche, but please remember that everyone wants to make friends. It's not just you. And at university, you have such a diverse range of people that just put yourself out there, be yourself, and you are going to find your people. Obviously, I've spoken about societies and socials already, and that might worry some of you if what you've heard is about the big, crazy nights out with alcohol and drinking. If drinking alcohol isn't something you want to do, you do not have to do it. There are so many people at university who choose not to drink for a variety of different reasons. And you're not going to be the odd one out if you decide you don't want to drink. Like I said, I'm going to be hosting night in socials for my society this year. So just research societies that are going to host things that you know you're comfortable with and that you're going to enjoy, and you're going to meet like-minded people that way. I actually met another one of my best friends at a night in societies Give It a Go. A Give It a Go is basically where at the beginning of the year, societies host things where you literally do just give it a go and you go to the society and you go to one of their socials just to see what it's like, what they get up to. And ours was a quiz night, so it was a sober night quiz night. And we didn't even end up sticking to the society, but we met each other, ended up being on the same course, but we met each other through the society first. And now we're really good friends 2 years on. So go to the give it a goes, have a look at what societies are right for you. They might not include drinking and nights out if that's not what you want. And that is fine. I know so many people who don't drink. Also, there is a narrative that alcohol is a huge part of university, but my society, whilst you can drink, people can choose not to drink even on the nights out. It does not matter. Just don't force yourself to do something that you don't want to do. Like I said, I definitely recommend researching societies before you move to university, just so you have a rough idea about what kind of nights out, nights in they will put on and whether you're comfortable and happy with them. Okay, let's talk Welcome Week, which you may know as Freshers Week. You may be overwhelmed by the idea of these crazy nights out during Freshers Week, as was I. I actually found moving to Leeds quite intense at first, and I was overwhelmed and I did not want to go out very much in Freshers Week. I think I only went out twice in the end. I was quite good, and I am quite good at setting my own boundaries. If I don't want to go out, I'm not going. But I know that might be more difficult for some of you, but please just remember it is 1 week and you may have 3 or more years left of university to go out and to do these things once you're settled and you're more comfortable. It doesn't all have to be done during Freshers Week. And I genuinely don't feel like I missed out for not going out 5 times a week during Freshers Week. I know that I did what I was happy with and I made sure that I was comfortable. If your Freshers Week doesn't live up to the expectations you thought it might because of things you've seen on social media, please don't worry. I don't think it is that experience for everybody. It definitely wasn't for me. Talk of second year houses will start very early on, particularly in Leeds, and you will hear people say things like, if you don't sign by Christmas, you're not going to get a house. This just isn't true. I did give in to it though, because it does make you worry when you hear people saying these things. And I signed my house very early on. Luckily, we are still best friends and it has been absolutely fine. We're living together again in 3rd year. But obviously, you don't know people very well by this point, and it could be that you meet your people in 2nd semester who you would much rather live with. So just remember there is enough houses to go around and you do not need to rush into it. I know people who didn't sign their 3rd year house until about April or May of this year, and then the contract starts in July. So they left it really, really late and they still have a really nice house. So like I say, please do not rush it because you don't want to end up in a house that you regret. Obviously, the main part about going to uni is your degree. So let's talk about that. I remember hearing before starting university that the staff and the lecturers, they don't support you. It is all down to you. But that is not the case. The support that you do get from your lecturers is down to how you utilise their time. So lecturers have office hours, which are about 2 hours a week, where you can either book an appointment, sometimes it's just that you turn up, and you can chat to them for 5-10 minutes about any concerns you may have, and then they're able to help you. One thing about university is that you can't show them drafts. If it's an essay, you can't show them a draft before submitting, but you can run through your concepts and your ideas to get their opinions on it, which is also really, really helpful for you. I really recommend that you make use of office hours. I didn't go once in my 1st year of university. And then when it got to 2nd year and it got a little bit harder, I obviously needed a bit more support. And then I realised, why haven't I been doing this all along? They have these hours set weekly for us to go and use. So you may as well be using them. Get the advice you need. Don't just struggle. So remember, if you make the effort to build a relationship with your lecturer, it is going to benefit you. They're the ones who know best. They're the ones who are likely going to be marking your work a lot of the time. So that is the advice that you want to be getting. You will also get assigned an academic personal tutor at the very start of your 1st year. And they are kind of your first port of call for any academic queries or concerns that you might have. If they can't directly answer the question, they will point you in the direction of somebody who can. The Student Information Service is also really great. So they can help you with so many university-related questions and queries. There are also services such as the Disability Service, the Wellbeing Service, and the Career Service that can all support you throughout your time at Leeds. On the note of academic work, I would also like to add that university work is marked very differently to what you might be used to at college or 6th form. So if you don't get the grades that you're expecting in your very first submissions, please don't be disheartened. You have so much time to learn from it and to make amendments and to boost your grades. So just please don't worry if you're not getting the grades that you first expected. If you are starting uni soon, you're probably going to be getting your student loan hit your bank account shortly. And this might be the most amount of money you've ever had in your account at one time. So let's not get carried away. Now, I'm not saying you need to budget every single penny of that student loan, but I think just having a rough idea of how much you have and where it needs to go is important. So, for example, knowing how much your rent is going to cost you when your rent is due, and then how much you have left over for food and other things like your society memberships, etc. You do need to consider how much you want your food shops to cost you and how much you think you need to budget for that so that you're not left short. Just have a rough idea, oh, I want to spend this amount a week on food, and then I've got this amount left over for fun things like going out with my friends. That is also a really quick reminder that societies do cost money. So have a little research before about the membership cost of your society, because I saw a TikTok the other day where a lot of the comments were freshers just realizing that you have to pay for your societies, and you do. So just have a research beforehand so it's not a shock when you get there. University may also be the first time that you're actually having to cook for yourself, and I know that can be daunting for quite a lot of people. Some meals that I would recommend that you learn are spaghetti bolognese, chili con carne, a type of curry. Learn to make pasta, and all of those things will help you when you first move, and they're really easy to make. You can get the pre-made sauces for a lot of them, which are fairly cheap, and you're then getting a healthy meal and it's not too stressful. And a lot of them include vegetables in the recipe. Make sure you're eating your vegetables at uni. I don't eat fruit when I'm at uni because it's so expensive and it just doesn't last long enough. So I just make sure that I'm eating lots and lots of veggies to kind of make sure I'm still being healthy when I'm at uni. I've always planned my weekly meals when I'm at uni because then I can go and do my food shop knowing what ingredients I need for the meals. And it does make your food shop cheaper because you're not just going around the shop picking random things up that you may or may not use. I think it's also nice to not have to think about what you're going to eat every single day. Whilst I don't stick to it like Monday I'm going to have this, Tuesday I'm going to have this, I just know what foods I've got for the week and what meals I can make. So I've only got a selection of 5 choices. So I'm going to make one of them. And it is just nicer because actually thinking of dinners to cook yourself every single night is quite hard, I found. I really hope you found some use in this video. Please just remember that these are things I wish I knew based on my own experience, and everybody's experiences are going to be different. Just stay true to yourself, have fun and make memories. And if you're starting university this September, good luck. Thank you for watching.